First of all, thanks.
Yeah.
And congratulations for the 4th season.
Thank you.
How does
Very
that
much. 4th season feels good, especially the early pickup that we got. For the past several seasons, we kind of, it's that waiting game of everybody goes home, we finish up our work here, and then we just kind of sit and wait and hope that we have a job next fall. But to get the early pickup for a 4th season is a nice big pat on the back, so we're happy.
So, why do you think all the success?
To kind of put a finger on the success or why the success has happened to the show, I don't know that I could. I mean, I don't know that I could really point out one specific thing for anything that's success in this industry. It's such a fickle industry, and you never know what's going to work and what isn't going to work. And luckily, we found an audience early on that has really stuck with us and grown from season to season. So that's obviously very important. The network also likes us, and the studios, they're big fans of us, and that, of course, helps too, to have the suits on your back. I don't know. I've been parts of shows and movies that I thought would be great and haven't been. And then you go with one that you were like, well, I don't know if this one's going to have a shot, and boom, it's a giant hit. So I don't think there's a formula to it. You just kind of give your best and hope that people respond to it, and they have.
Would you call it a cult classic?
A lot of people like to deem it as a cult classic, and I think simply because of the genre of the television show. It's this horror kind of sci-fi-ish type of show. But I would say we have a very kind of rabid fan base that's. You guys are awesome. So, I think what separates us from the kind of those genre shows or those cult shows, as they like to be called, is just the fact that, especially on television right now, you've got Lost and Medium, and you have a lot of shows that deal with supernatural type things. But with Supernatural, it's more of a horror show. We don't keep the mystery of the unknown a mystery. We show it to you week to week, and these guys actually face them week to week. And so I think that aspect alone kind of separates us from the pack. We pick up season 3 where we left off with season 2, which is where Dean makes a deal with the devil to save his brother's life, or to bring his brother back to life in exchange for his soul. So there's a bit of a predicament that kind of winds its way through all of season 3. That I'm still kind of on the fence of how it's going to resolve itself. I don't know that it will. Could be quite interesting, but that's kind of where we're leading towards the season finale. So, but it's kind of a run against time right now. Dean's got a year left to live, and he figures he's going to make the most of it. Whereas Sam's a little bit more driven to find an answer of fixing the deal and getting him out of the deal and saving his life. So it's two totally different kind of motivations. You've got Sam, who's like, hey, we got to figure this out. We got to fix this. We got to save your life. Whereas Dean's like, hey, let's go to Vegas. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic between the two brothers, and it's what I really like about the show is that from season to season these dynamics change quite drastically between the two characters. The season 2, you've got Dean's more, or season 1, Dean's more of the motivating character, and he's kind of pushing the story. He's kind of like, we got to go, we got to find Dad, we got to do this, and Sam's kind of the reluctant one. And it keeps evolving and ever changing and flip flopping, and I think that's it's really great for us for me as an actor to have a character that continually evolves, and it's not just playing kind of one note. So yeah, that's kind of where we are season 3, and obviously we've introduced a few new characters this season. We introduced Bella and Ruby. And it was funny because when I heard they were going to add a few female characters to the show, of course my first concern was, I hope it's not just we're just going to bring on a love interest, because that's kind of an obvious, way to introduce a female character. But they didn't, and I knew that Eric would come up with some kind of, tactical way to introduce them, and it's they've been kind of a great addition. They've kind of taken the guys into different directions, and they've really kind of thrown some curveballs at the storyline. So that's been a nice addition, and yeah, and then it's more the same. We get to go town to town and find the people in distress and save them from the evils of the world.
We'll set the scene for me today a little bit. What are we seeing today?
Today is some of the motel room scenes, which every episode is, you've got these kind of, as the necessary evil, the expositional scenes where we've got to explain what's going on and why it's going on and how we're going to fix it and all that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of information, informative scenes. So we are in the motel room. Sam and Dean are going through their research and trying to find ways of battling the supernatural demon that they've got this episode or this week. And in kind of getting caught up with looking for it, Dean gets a phone call that floors him and says that, hey, the person holding the contract on your head, or the demon holding the contract in your head, is in town. And of course Dean believes it wholeheartedly because he's starting to feel that that reality coming closer and closer. And he's starting to realize that, he's not done on Earth. He doesn't want to die. Even though his first initial reaction was, yeah, I did it, I got a year to live. Let's make the most of it. Let's have fun. Let's call up some old flames and, round two. But as he's getting closer and closer, he's starting to realize that it's really scaring him. It's really freaking him out. Of course, he will never let Sam know that, but internally, he's his stomach's flipping. So.
And there's somebody special who's coming back in this episode as well.
Well, I assume you're talking